Jackson Podcast.
He had a 0 to 100. Zero, one. I have never seen him on 0 though. Always seen him on 100. I've always seen him on 100. And yeah, I ain't never seen him down. He was always on fire. I remember one time, true story, where's Warren? So Pocket came to my room, and I hate when Warren bring people to my room. So my brother brought Tupac to my room. We staying in the Lamontrose in L.A. And Warren, I hate this, man, but he knocked on my door. I opened the door, and it's Tupac and Warren. Warren left. Tupac come in the room, man, and this is the first time we started smoking the weed from California. So I was really, 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 really high.
Yeah.
And I had a suite, and it had 2 beds, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm high. I'm watching TV, man, and Pac come in there with all that loud ass shit, man. And I grabbed the remote control, and I just handed it to him. He was in there, yeah, man, we're going to sort something with this. He sat there on the bed for a minute, man, flipping through the channels. He walked to the patio door, looked out, and he seen Suge in a red Mercedes-Benz. And he left. I don't think that Pac was that cool with Suge back then.
Right.
Because he did leave. And I don't know, they could have been the best of friends, but I know that he was gone.
Right.
And we ended up getting out and going out somewhere, and I didn't see Pac no more. But me and Pac been on tours together.
Right.
You know, we've been in Atlanta together. That's my partner, man. Like, I would talk to Tupac on the phone before he was Me Against the World, not Me Against the World, but what's the other album? All Eyes. I talked to Tupac before he was All Eyes on Me. Mm-hmm. All right, me and Pac been down since Tupacalypse, now Pac. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the Pac I know. I know the this is for my Pac.
Wow.
Yeah, I know that Pac.
How is his writing style different than yours?
I don't know.
You never seen him write anything?
No, but I can tell you that I was his favorite rapper, and he was mine.
Salute, salute, salute to Scarface. You know, in the words of the great Jay-Z, you could be anywhere in the world, but you here with me. Give yourself a round of applause. You know, on this episode, we're going to be talking about a whole lot, man. A lot has occurred in culture, the cultural impact of music, you know, politics with what's going on in D.C. with Trump sending the National Guard. I touched on it last week, pause, and I had my guy call into the show, man, also, and he gave a dope perspective on it. But a lot of things has transpired since then, and we're going to get into that. A lot of new music has dropped. You know, it's so much going on. The Sha'Carri Richardson thing has also went in a direction that I feel like I need to address. I didn't want to address it. You know, I'm always supporting her. I always want to see her win. But, you know, some things has changed. And I got to talk about some of the reactions and some of the people who made themselves look lame, you know, speaking up for her in this incident, even though I spoke up for her in a lot of things and tried to sympathize. But, you know, sympathy is something that is hard to come by nowadays. Also, Lil Yachty. We got to talk about that Lil Yachty incident where he mentioned George Floyd and his raps. Steven Jackson responded. But I want to take the conversation a little bit further. You know, it's a whole bunch going on in the culture, man. Amanda Seales, she was on Jubilee. Ooh, this is a conversation that's most needed to be had on the podcast. But we're going to start the podcast off with Scarface. You know, I ain't too fond of a Club Shay Shay. I watch it from time to time. I think that Shannon Sharpe is going to come out of this situation and be back a pivotal person in the media space. I feel like he's going to come out of it because, public perception is one thing, but it's one thing when you just a chosen one and you just doing what you do. I feel like he is one of the chosen ones. People ain't going to stop going on this platform speaking their piece. He can do what ESPN and the big machines do on his own. I know a lot of people are caught up in wanting to be a part of these machines. Fox Sports, ESPN, people in the hip hop community want to be signed to a deal and all of that, but it's a few individuals that's the chosen ones. We're going to get into new music though. But before I get into that, I want to play one of the records this week that stuck out to me. And we're going to converse about it, and we're going to talk about new music before we get into the conversation. Let's get to it. Stop ever loving me. Don't stop ever loving me.
Diamonds on my birthstone. Sometimes it snows in April. If I get the lighting right, I'm shooting out a rainbow. Coalition, that's a soul intention, that's the main goal. Cold under pressure, turning Tommies into Django. Tempos and the Rambos, dumping ammo in the Django's. Make the gang a milligan, make sure they move militant. This for all my gullers, I'ma get us off this gill again. This for all the times, now I'm the captain, you was filling in. Ride, just enjoy the ride, just enjoy the ride. Trust you gon' be alright, we gon' be alright. But if they wanna fight, it's gon' be a fight. Just get your brothers right, and they gon' ride. All of you 3-0 folks don't trust this 116. Trusting this pimp dream, trusting the program, I put you on the big screen. Tell all the squares that I've been to the mountaintop, and I know what I've seen. Know a lot of ghosts, but it's only one boat, and it's only one nowhere, you know what I mean. So, bitch, get in the whip. This is Starship, we fixin' the dip. No ifs and buts, bitch, get in the whip. Shotgun to your back, don't give any lip. Don't give up the names, don't give up the codes. This game here to be sold, not told. Now you're a soldier, now walk that blade. Let's get you a point, let's rock, let's roll. Ride, just enjoy the ride, just enjoy the ride. Trust you gon' be alright, we gon' be alright. But if they wanna fight, it's gon' be a fight. Just get your brothers right, and they gon' ride.
Look what the wind blew in the new sense. The blueprint carved it out with 2 cents. A movement came out the booth and I clock in. Our arson pumping AC with dark tint. No matter how we vent, boy, it's a cold breeze. We creep to a slow speed. When you ride up with the police, count emojis. Let me tell you what the real players told me. Keep your mind on the page, don't be tripping on the haze. Let me tell you what the real P told me. When I'm hopping at the lag with the fees to the back. 7 out bad bitch like I'm Goldie. Just lay back, enjoy the ride. In the bottom of the bottom, I chose to die. Baby, make a wish and close your eyes. She jumped in the fender, then I told her.
Let's go Lego, we connect, we done overcame, got through that maze, poke pimp waves, Cadillac days, I sit back, put on my shades, then hit the block like gon' get some, I done had a good time on that run, I done hit the telly with the Henny and the pill, and the bad chick got us from, B-L-O, we so halo, we so high though, every day though, stack the netto, match them peso, got some soldiers moving to say so, they keep telling me we celebrities, and I know that, but you can hold that, picture me like a Kodak, check the film and you can roll back,
ride, just enjoy the ride, just enjoy the ride. Trust you gon' be alright, we gon' be alright.
Salute to Chance the Rapper, man. He dropped a new project this week. I know I haven't been doing my reactions on the channel like I should and like I supposed to, man, because music has been dropping faster than I thought it would. At the beginning of the year started off real slow, but now that it's summertime, summer is ending, people are dropping records left and right. We're going to discuss the Cardi B record also, the Imaginary Players. It's interesting. I don't want to say nothing bad about Cardi B, but I got to talk about that record and, the cadence and the beef and the dissing and it's just so much that goes into that record. Juicy J dropped the album also. Gunna's album to me was fire. Ghostface keep releasing singles, and he's about to drop next week on Mass Appeal, Nas record label. It's mandatory that I react to that because Mass Appeal been doing their thing, and I'm looking forward to every release that they release from the record label this year. But since we getting into a conversation about an artist, since we get ready to go over this Scarface interview also, Scarface is a legend. I want to give him his praise before we play some of his music and we talk about it. Scarface is a legend, man. And to me, he is one of the most influential artists ever. But for the South, specifically the South, he may be the most influential out the South lyrically all time. I know Pimp C is up there with like influence, but lyrically, Scarface may be the best. It's either him, Andre 3000, or I don't know who can even compare to them two though. But Scarface and Andre 3000 are some legendary artists though. But Scarface, you know, I remember in '93 when I heard Menace to Society soundtrack and I heard A Pocket Full of Stones. And that was my introduction to really hip hop in general. Like me really listening to it on a consistent basis. But before that, that iconic cover with Bushwick Bill, Willie D, and Scarface, and my mind playing tricks on me and all of that, that was like, you know, something that is going to always be iconic. That's an iconic album cover, an iconic album. And those were the first artists that I ever heard from the South, period. And then with some Texas boys, and they've been doing their thing, and Scarface still doing his thing. And we're going to check out a couple of records from Face's album, Deeply Rooted, before we get into the conversation, before we get into the interview, before we chop it up. I hope y'all having a great day, man. You're getting to your money, you're chilling, and you're living life, man. And, you know, you're out there winning, man, because that's what it's about. Real talk. Let me find this record. Here it go, featuring Zero, Fuck You.
I couldn't agree with you more. Jealous hearted motherfucker. Never be able to fuck with me, nigga. Ever. Super solid from day one.
Let's go.
Never put myself in a compromised position. I'm a chess player. Shoot my way out. First born to my mama. I come from the place where you promised to die before your 21st. You'll be surprised what's underneath the earth. Dug dirt, I put bones there. All my enemies is gone now. I can't sleep through the cold sweats. Flashbacks, I'm a known threat. God-fearing, yet I'm evil though. I think deep, I believe in ghosts. Ever felt the hand of a dead body? Then you know why I took my gun and headshot him. War started over dope cuts. I put what I live by on both nuts. It's either him or me, so I say fuck dude. I look him in his eyes and tell him fuck you.
I've been running this shit so long, my head always like fuck you. Niggas been throwing rocks at the throne, I'ma reach out and touch you. Ain't gotta put no money on your dome, my nigga, fuck you. And everything you stand for, oh bitch, pussy nigga, fuck you.
Let's go.
Staring down the barrel of a Colt 45. I'm feeling mad, suicidal, so I think I'm gonna drive. Everything is hazy and I can't see my lane. Demons got me seeing double in the rain. If I put the pedal to the metal, take my hands off the wheel. Lord, if you hear me, steer. Steer. Lord, if you hear me, steer.
I think I need to breathe 'cause I ain't feeling right. My conscience is at ease and saying live your life. Got everything, I ain't missing much, bruh. Got my little paper back, I ain't really fucked up. My woman got my back, so I ain't stressed. Outside looking in, you can see I'm blessed, huh? Career still intact, got my street cred. Went on with life, thinking that the beast dead. But every now and then I get flashbacks. Get down on my knees in the ass that God keep my head on, 'cause I don't wanna spaz out. Load back up that 45 and air nigga ass out.
Staring down the barrel of a Colt 45. I'm feeling mad, suicidal, so I think I'm gonna drive.
You know what's crazy about that? Like, that song is a suicidal song. And you know, what's interesting about Scarface is that he is one of the first artists to talk about like his traumas and his experiences and his dark parts of his life and put it on records. And it's interesting to hear him be talk about being a storyteller and how important it is to tell stories in your raps because we listen to music now and people are trying to find something to say. They haven't had any life experiences. And if you haven't had any life experiences, then what you saying is irrelevant. Go live life and then come back and have something to say. And that's an interesting record. I suggest everybody go check out his last album, Deeply Rooted. Now let's get into the conversation, man. Real talk.
Drake said UK rappers are better than American rappers. I don't know a whole lot of UK rappers.
You know what? I don't know any UK rappers, but I don't have nothing against them, UK but that's like me saying Kobe was better than Jordan.
Yeah.
You know, you had a blueprint to study.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jordan created the blueprint for you to study. So for Kobe to be better than him, that's a possibility.
Right.
You know, if you study the blueprint enough, you become the blueprint.
Right.
So if UK rappers are better than the rappers from the United States, they had enough to study.
True.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they had enough time to study it. Mm-hmm. All right? So no comment. I mean, that's my comment.
You know, it's interesting that her and Scarface be the truth teller he is and what he says in his raps and stuff, give a politically correct answer like that. But I feel like he answered it with his expression before he said what he said because he felt like Shannon Sharp tried to trick him into saying something. Because if you see his facial expression before he spoke, that said everything that needed to be said. His facial expression. Now, the disrespect coming from Drake is due to what has been done to him in America. And not saying that what was done to him was wrong at the end of the day because he put himself in position where he didn't even have to respond to Kendrick Lamar, to the Clips. When you at the top, you don't always have to have a response to the people that's under you. Not saying that they under him talent-wise, but based upon sales and the things that Drake was doing at the time, he didn't even need to address the foolishness. And he addressed it and he got annihilated in the beef or whatever. And now it seems as if he's bitter. He isn't doing songs with American individuals no more. He's bigging up UK rappers. He hasn't featured with, an American artist. He featured with Central C. We know he's from London, UK somewhere. He's doing songs with them over there, and he's on stage talking about, we already addressed this on the podcast. I did a show about it. But he got on stage and said UK rappers are the best lyricists. I think he knew that would be controversial. He knew that would stir up some confusion in hip hop in totality. And I feel like it's blasphemous. No disrespect to the UK rappers or whatever, though. But you can't be better than the root. I don't think none of them are better lyricists than Black Thought. And I'm going to speak about old people, too. You know, Black Thought. I like what JID is doing as a young individual. I like what Nas is doing. Raekwon the Chef. We can't sleep on people that is very lyrically inclined just because we don't like what they talking about or we can't relate to what they talking about. Go have some life experiences and you may be able to relate. Like I said, Scarface is a dope lyricist, but he gave a politically correct answer to that. And I understand why, because if you look over Scarface's career, when I played the intro to the podcast, he talked about Tupac. He did songs with Tupac. He done songs with Big J, Nas. He ain't trying to be in no foolishness, man. He just trying to get his bag or whatever, though. But I'm getting ready to further the conversation, and I want to know what y'all thoughts is about what was said and what y'all think about Drake saying UK rappers are better than American rappers. I think that's blasphemous, but we're going to continue on with the conversation, and this is what Scarface had to say about streaming, because he ain't released the album since streaming existed. That last album that I played, Deeply Rooted, I remember that's like one of the last CDs that I bought ever. That and Ambition by Wale. I think that was like 09, 2010 or something like that. But let's go.
Streaming.
No, absolutely Absolutely not.
Should rappers take their music off stream to get it back to where people got to pay real money to get it?
Yep, I would. I remember when it was 99 cents to listen to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so here's the thing. Like, it costed us so much money to make those albums. Mm-hmm. It cost so much to pay a producer. But now, you know what? I think producers may make a beat for $200 now. I know back in the Gap, you know, a Dr. Dre beat was $250,000. You know, Timberland beat was $150,000-$200,000. As the Neptunes and all of them, that shit was high.
Yeah.
So it would be shameful to get a beat from these top-notch producers and then have to put your shit on a stream and wait for it to stream.
Right.
A million streams is $4,000.
What?
Yeah. 1 million streams is $4,000. It's too much. It's too much red tape, man, in between that, because you don't never know. It's kind of like the record selling too. You don't know how many records you really sold.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What they tell you.
Let's just go by what they tell you, you know. But the streaming, I'm still not hip to how this works.
Right.
And that's why I'm not putting out any new music. I'm not releasing any new music, because it would just be all done in vain. Because those people have come up with something so slick to cut us all the way out the money. You know, the mom and pop saved hip hop. The mom and pop saved our lives, because if we couldn't do anything else, we could sell 100,000 records and make $1 million. God forbid you sold 1 million records and made $10 million. You know, yeah, like we had jams, man, and they sold. I just listening to shit, man, and I'm gonna listen to this, and I'm gonna pay him half a penny. But after this, I want to hear something else and pay them half a penny. No, you had to buy that body of work.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like a real artist, man, you can't judge their body of work by one song.
Okay.
I would prefer way more if someone would just listen to an album from front to back.
Right.
That's why all my shit jam from front to back, because I had a chance to listen to my album from front to back.
Right.
And it jammed.
You know, I can speak on this because I can speak from experience, because I've been making music myself, and I've contributed to the streaming era, but I've been making my music myself since '03. So I understand what he's saying. And streaming and these applications and these places you can go buy beats like BeatStars, these beat applications, you can go buy beats for $20. It's so easily accessible. That's why it's so many rappers. You can have $1,000, $2,000. You might not even need $1,000. You know, the young people may have found a way where you don't need no money at all to be able to release something on DistroKid, give them $20, and they distribute it to the world. And that's why the money is down so low. But the people who is creating the music, money is down low. The people that's invested in the Spotify, the people that's invested in Apple Music, and I don't even know too many more platforms no more. The rest of them has died off. The Titles, the Deezers, y'all tell me the YouTube Music. YouTube Music is free. I never got a check from YouTube Music or Tidal. So with that being said, it's easily accessible. It's more rappers. You don't have to invest in it. And what Scarface is saying, that, it was kind of better back in the days. You knew the mathematics of what the profits was going to be if you invested this amount in it. So I want to speak about myself for a minute, because I understand that. Like, I released my first album in 2003. So when I released my first album, my cousin was making the beats, and I had to go buy the equipment. I bought the equipment for him to make the beats. I went to Guitar Center. I don't even know if that's still open. Went and bought a drum machine, a MPC, that's what they was called, a keyboard. We bought the computer. We bought the thing where you put the DATs in it and record it, the microphone. We spent like $12,000. And then for his time, I gave him $100 a beat. And then I paid him for studio time, like $20, $25 an hour, just because he was family, because I didn't want him to waste his time, and we was investing money into it. We was trying to make it a business and a career when other people was looking at it as a hobby, because they didn't want to spend no money. And that was just to buy the equipment. 17 songs. I done gave him 1,700 in beats, $20 an hour. Ain't no telling how many hours I done went. So we already up to $15,000, $16,000 right there. Then we go to mastering. Oh, they want $150, $200 a song. 17 songs. What's that? Another 3,500. We up to 20,000. Now you want to get your CDs pressed up because you ain't going to DistroKid or these places, CD Baby, and you uploading your music to a streaming service. These rappers couldn't afford this back in the days. It was all a dream, you know. So I'm $20,000 in. Now I want to go get some duplications. I want them professional. I need to be able to get my barcode. I need to make sure that this is legal. Now I got to go downtown and get my, you know, copywritten, get my company certified, BMI certifications and all of that. Another $250. Bam. Right there. Now you got to pay yearly when you're on the record label. After that, I go to get it distributed. I mean, get the duplications, not distributed. The duplications for the CDs. This is not knowing if I'm going to make $1 yet. So 1,000 copies. They want $10 a piece because albums was being sold for $15 back then. So you want it pressed up, high quality with the plastic on it, with your barcode on the back, and you want it to fold out. So you can see the credits, you can see the pictures of your city you representing and all of that. Then you want a picture on the CD. $10 a piece. 1,000 copies. $10,000. You $40,000 in before you even made $1. I understand what he's saying. It was an investment to be an artist. And when you invested in yourself and you believed in yourself, you reap the reward from it. Nowadays, folks is just uploading music and ain't making no money. They done found a way to make it to where like older individuals may not see a benefit in it. It got to be for the love of it. Because you sell 1 million records, you make $4,000. Like he said, that's nothing. And that's before taxes. So he in the state of Texas, he might bring home more than somebody that's in California. They get 1 million streams, make $4,000. Then the state want 15%. The feds want 28%. $4,000. You got $2,200 after taxes for 1 million streams. It's blasphemous. But if you're smart, you'll just invest in the company, in the stock aspect of it, and get you some real paper. Now let's continue on in the conversation. There's one more thing that Scarface said to me that was intriguing during this interview. Salute to Shannon Sharp also. I want to give him a round of applause because he allowed Scarface to do some records. He performed during this interview. It was a 3-hour show. It was dope. Salute to Shannon Sharp. Now, this last clip that I'm about to play, we 30 minutes in. I'm just on the first topic. Scarface talks about running out of time. Let's go.
We're 21 years apart in all of those stages.
Right. Okay.
So I'm 21 years younger than my mother. My mother's 21 years younger than my grandmother.
Wow.
Yeah. So I can see my life 21 years from now.
Wow.
And 21 years from that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that shit always makes me think about the end, Shannon. That shit makes me think about the end. I can't focus on living.
Are you afraid of dying?
I'm not. But I'm just saying, I ain't got no time. I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. Like that clock, man, is ticking, man. And I don't want to waste my time, bro. But they can't waste my time. That's my biggest fear, because I can't get it back.
No. Time is the most valuable currency. Because once it's gone, it's gone. It can never be recaptured. Get your wife back, get your money back, get your house back, get your all that shit back. Get your friends back. Can't get time back.
I seen him get his money back.
Yes.
But I ain't never seen nobody get his time back, man. And all I can think of, shit, I'm 54. Shit, I'm 54. I got a bad ticker, son kidney, and I'm like, wow.
Would you still face? You still think about the 54 great years. Yes, you had open heart. I saw the scar. Yes, you have your son's kidney. I saw the scar. But 54 years. Think about how.
Pause. Go ahead.
There you go.
No, because I don't want to. Because niggas be like, yeah, they was in there in the room with puffing them. Like, no, it wasn't.
But think about the 54 great years.
Yeah, but I ain't trying to cut the off now, Shannon. Come on.
You afraid?
I'm not scared. I know that that's the inevitable, man.
Yeah.
But I don't want to run out of time right now.
No, you not. Why you thinking about that? You thinking about dying, you ain't thinking about living.
And that's my problem. I can't get past it. I played with that shit so much growing up until I'm like, shit, I cheated when I was a year, when I was 5, when I was 7, when I was 9, when I was... What year was that? We went in that store, man, and people came in there and robbed that goddamn store.
That's about 16, 17. 15, 16.
Probably 15, 16, 17. We was just leaving the Fresh Fest concert, man. And I seen it was some Hispanic cats?
They used to rob the gas station.
Yeah, they came in there, man. I say, bruh, dude got a big ass gun on him. Let's go. Ain't that what I said?
You know what's interesting about that whole conversation? When I think about the era when he was relevant and what the majority of artists used to talk about, like, y'all young individuals might not know this though, but I just want to make y'all aware of it, and the OGs that's listening to it, the episode or whatever. And Big, Pac, the Ghetto Boys, Scarface, they used to always talk about death in their raps. And I used to wonder why, like, because I understand growing up in the hood, in the communities, because I was in the hood around that time, but I was a child. So I didn't know that, as a child, I didn't know that I was growing up in a hard environment. We had, I think about what we have to pay for now with HOA fees and stuff owning a home, and we don't even get half of what we got for free in the federal government owned hoods. We had baseball fields, swimming pools, basketball courts, and all of that. We used to play kickball and have the time of our life, running track fields and stuff right down the street, football fields and stores and all type of stuff was just right around the corner. So I was young. I didn't know it was hard. And when I used to listen to those songs, Death Around the Corner by Tupac, Ready to Die by Big, and all of this death music that Scarface used to talk about also, Dying to Live and these type of songs, I used to be like, why are they talking like this? Why are they so low vibration? Why is life so dark? But I wasn't a teenager then, and if an OG is listening to this episode, can give me some game and help me understand why the thought process was like that, help me out, because I'm confused in that part. But time is of the inevitable. I'm 45 years old, man, right now, and I feel like I was 17 just a while ago. I would tell people, value your time, man, because it's not forever, but appreciate your life while you living right now, because life is precious. Life is beautiful, man. Value your time. Don't allow people to waste your time. Remove people out your life if they don't value your time, but focus on living, because Scarface has been a successful individual. He has achieved a lot. He's a hell of an artist, but he said he can't even focus on living. That's interesting. Let's move along in the conversation. Trump put the National Guards out in D.C. to combat homelessness and crime. I want to mention something about myself before I speak about this, because I don't want to consider myself a victim, but I'm an individual who grew up in the hood, seen the hood transform throughout my life, because at one point in time, the hood was thriving. People was unified. It was families out there. And then crack came and changed the structure of the hood. And this is a southern hood I'm talking about. Then after crack came, the finances came. Then gangs came and tried to organize the finances. And during this time, I'm just growing up my whole life, living and, going to school. I had became a hustler and I was successful. But I was just a fly guy. I didn't want to be a part of organized gangs and the streets and all of that. So, the people in my neighborhood turned their back on me and they tried to harm me. And, I really wasn't a person that was an advocate for the streets. I just wanted some money so I could be able to provide for my family and eventually get us out of that lifestyle. I didn't have no problem with working or being a productive person to society or none of that. But, when I look back over my life, my perspective has changed. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I'm a homeowner. And I don't want criminals breaking into my home. I don't want people harming people outside my residence, lowering my property value. So the perspective of the keeping it real perspective, you ain't gonna get that from me. You're gonna get the truth, the real, how I really feel about this situation in DC. Now, putting the National Guards on the people, if they do something that is illegal or something that's wrong, then I understand the people that's being productive. But you should, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you shouldn't be concerned. This ain't even your concern. Go ahead and conduct your day like how you normally do. Go to work, provide for your family, come home, go to the grocery store, go wash your car, go shopping, come back home and live your life. But if you're a criminal, then you have some sort of reason to be concerned about this. Now, I want to play this video because the chaos is going on in the district. And DC is one of my favorite cities on the planet. I love the multicultural city. I love the education. I love the libraries, the museum, the politics, the food. I just like DC. I like where it's located at and everything. It's not the South or the North. It's just multicultural. So we get ready to play the videos that I seen, the chaos. We're going to play some videos from natives of DC and people talking to the National Guard and law enforcement versus community and all types of stuff. But let's get into the conversation, man.
Runner! Who got the fuck? Who just got the fuck? I don't even know.
Send that blitz.
Who just ran, y'all?
Who just ran?
Look at him.
Damn! Oh shit! No!
Hey! Why the fuck are you putting him in handcuffs? You don't have no reason to put this man in handcuffs, sir. I'm not close to you. I'm just saying. Back up. Don't get close to them. Back up. Back up. All we saying is why y'all putting this man in handcuffs? He showed you he has nothing. What y'all want? Yeah, get me on camera, boy. I'm legal. Nigga, fuck is you talking about? I got me on camera, boy. Shut your bitch. He put this man in handcuffs with no reason. Hey, don't push him, y'all. Don't push them. He had no reason to put this man in handcuffs. Y'all, calm down, y'all. Relax. Illegally detained him. No, he said, look, calm down. Back up, calm down, y'all. He said he only detained a name, bruh. Calm down, y'all. Everybody calm down, y'all.
Out they face. Get out they face, y'all. Get out they face.
Jack, back up.
Get out they face, man. Get out they face. This nigga acting like he about to fight the field and shit. Yeah, fight. Get his shield. We make child brother good. I don't care about child rednecks. Y'all come from motherfucking Albuquerque coming down here. Y'all don't even care about the black community. Old ass, bro.
What the fuck?
Oh, they trying to shoot. Oh, they trying to shoot, man. Oh, my mother, they shoot.
Mo, calm down. He's gonna take your ass to jail. Mo, what the fuck, Hey, y'all, don't leave Frank dog, y'all. Make sure they don't harm Frank dog.
That looked just like the neighborhood I grew up in, man. One thing I've come to grips with when I left the city that I grew up in, because I'm going to be specific. I grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. For people that don't know or that's new to my channel, it's a city that's like 83% white and 15% black, and the rest is other. So you have to learn how to communicate with a multitude of individuals. And when I left my hometown and been traveling the world, I see that like cities that's majority black or majority of a mixed community cities, people can stay in their area and they don't know how to articulate themselves to multiple cultures. And that's bad in this country because the communication, people are not understanding each other. The the young black guys are not understanding what's happening or what's going on when people are coming into a neighborhood that they live in. Because I wanna address something too that may sound harsh, but I come to realize as I got older about this. You know, they don't know how to articulate themselves with the other people that's coming in enforcing the law. The law don't know how to articulate themselves to them because they don't know the language of the street. And that's if you not even in the street in law enforcement. That's if you go to corporate America, those people don't speak like the people in the rap community. Sports people don't speak like people in the tech world. It's just a totally different place, even though social media is making the world smaller and people are being able to like blend their languages together. It's just that people don't know how to articulate themselves. But I want to say something about, what I seen, because it was a lot of young black brothers out there. It wasn't no OGs or no older individuals. I've done a multitude of shows on my channel saying, did the OGs fail the youth? And I'm one of them. I feel like we did. A lot of people combat that conversation, and I seen in both of those shows, the OGs who watched the shows said, did the youth fail the OG? Because the youth doesn't listen to the OG. Well, I feel as if the youth isn't going to listen to a man that they feel as if failed them, or they don't know how to communicate with them, or they don't show interest in what they're interested in. Also, you just come and spewing information. You got to intertwine with what they like and what they interested in also, so you can have a perspective. So I feel as if the OGs didn't teach the youth how to articulate themselves around a multitude of individuals because they don't know how to articulate themselves. That's just my opinion, man. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section, but let's further that discussion also. Now, another thing that I seen by just looking at this video, my perspective, black people don't have a community. It's neighborhoods. And I don't even think that black people own that neighborhood. They are there to combat homelessness and crime. This is going to sound despicable to a few because a lot of people are going to be able to see themselves in this space and they're not going to want to agree with it. That is not the black community. That is a federally funded community that's giving you benefits to live in it at a lower rate or for free because you had children. That's not your hood or your neighborhood. You living in there free. You basically homeless if the government didn't assist you. The word homeless also, I had a long conversation with one of my partners that's in the real estate industry, and we had a conversation about the word homeless. You know how many people, it's more people that's homeless than, we will want to think is. We think that a person who is renting an apartment that has a roof over their head, has a home or a place to go. You only got a place to go for as long as that contractual agreement you have, that year lease, or you live in month to month. But in our reality, you don't own, you're homeless. Homeless means you don't have a home. Because you live in an apartment or you got a roof over your head don't mean that you have a home. It's a lot more people that's homeless than we would like to think in this country. And it's actually sad, to be honest with you. It's actually sad. Let's further the discussion, man, and move along in the conversation, man. For real.
These are your own fucking citizens. These are homeless people. You guys are fucking group. Don't let them do this to you. It's abusive to you, and now you're gonna get fucked when you're fucked up and you have to go to the VA and they cut all your services. Refuse now. Do not do this. You have the obligation to refuse unlawful orders. Okay?
You know, that's interesting to me because I feel as if some people that's homeless choose to be homeless. That man approached that National Guard vehicle and said, you can refuse. You can refuse. You know, I go to places that I don't like on a consistent basis where I work at, but I'm not too good for it, man. My ego ain't in the way. Like, people in this country, this is a capitalist country. If you refuse to contribute to the system, then the system will eat you up because it's a system. Not saying that it's right. Not saying that it's wrong, because some people embrace it and they thrive in it. But I feel as if some people choose to be homeless. And, you know, it's just, you know, looking at that video and that guy saying that you can refuse this. Those people who doing that job, they don't want to be homeless. The system is getting the best of all of us. It's not a morally correct system. United States isn't a morally correct country, but it's still, to me, the best country on the planet. Like, you can go to other countries that's not a capitalist society, that's a more socialist and all of that, and see how well you'll do there. Like, leave if you don't want to contribute to this or whatever, if you don't want to work. Like, some people feel as if they're too good to humble themselves and continue to fight on and on and on. Some people have health issues. It's just a lot that goes into it. And I feel as if, you know, with the way that the country is in debt, I hate to say this, the way that the country is in debt, being able to provide for a whole lot of people, to be able to get the society back rolling and back working, people going to have to work. Some of these things are going to have to be defunded, because when Biden was in office for a while, it seems as if there wasn't no laws, rules, or regulations in this country, and people was just doing whatever they wanted to do. That's what I see. Let's continue on in the conversation. This is the community versus law enforcement.
Whether you want to believe it or not.
I didn't say what. I wouldn't be here talking
about the conversation that needs to happen between law enforcement and community. We need to be able to hear both sides.
Correct.
Now, your thing is, you saying there's no law to it, right?
No, I didn't say no law.
Okay, well, no law to it, but no standing in front of, there must have been some kind of complaints coming from the establishment.
Yeah,
the problem is that people live in this building, people live on this street, and they're used to this.
Let it lie.
It looks different. Law enforcement that's saying, oh, this is a high crime area against the nation.
I mean, that's true.
Okay, that could be true allegedly, right?
It's not allegedly. The little girl's bill that's on the wall, that didn't come from
that's true.
That came from a drive-by shooting that 5 people know. And I was here saving her mother's life. Unfortunately, the little girl didn't survive. But see, you wouldn't know that. I was there. I was there.
But this is the thing. A conversation that you letting the people know that they will respect you more. Because they offer so much, them knowing that now, they will respect you a lot more. Just because they know that
I was bragging that we were there for that.
No, not bragging.
We go around.
We're not talking about bragging.
That's not our job. We don't have to tell them what we've done, whose lives we saved, because that's our job.
Yeah.
It's a thankless job. We don't expect thanks.
But this is a big Officer Griffin. This is a big Officer Griffin. Let's say you lived in Largo. If something happened to your parent and I was the one doing CPR on that person, you would thank me and shake my hand. So what I'm saying is,
I wouldn't expect you to walk around telling everybody that you said something.
I did, but what I'm saying is, there is a disconnection between community and law enforcement, and until we figure out how to get it together and have a conversation, it's going to be you chasing them and them saying fuck you and all that other stuff. We don't have to be there. We can get to a point where Officer Lingham, when I know you, and we say, hey, look, we got a complaint, we need y'all to move. And you can have this shit cleared out off respect. Not off running down. Not off running down.
It came a long way.
I can name you a couple of officers. I ain't gonna name you a couple of officers that do that. They come here with something.
Y'all appreciate your service. We gotta figure out a way to get
you right. Without we don't, guess what? It ain't no cuss out. It ain't no y'all chasing them. You're not
with your energy. The police. It's not that.
Everything that you're saying, and these conversations don't happen because people don't see it from your standpoint. People look at it as us versus them. The reason why we have these issues when we have it right now is too many times, like I said, I've been out here, it's like the same thing over and over and over and over again. And eventually it gets home. So where we're not on, hey, gentlemen, no, you're only going to get so many sirs, man. Gentlemen.
It was a lot of points made in that video because community, right? Even though they don't own the community or they don't have a hold of the community, they live there. And communication between them and the law enforcement needs to be had. But if they ain't cleaning up the activities that's going on in the community, like the officer said, not taking the officer's side, but what he said is the truth. It gets old. It's going to get old. We had these conversations with you. You're not a community leader because somebody died right down the street, just yesterday. And we got to clean it up. We have to come in and clean it up. Not saying that what they doing is right or whatever, though, but man, this is just a sad situation looking at it in D.C. And it's catching my attention because it's the community that people that look like me, people that have to deal with the same struggles that I had to deal with. To me, to be honest with y'all, man, get focused. Get off the street, man. Hanging, I remember that repetition, like how I repetitively don't want to go to work. How I repetitively don't want to go to the gym and work out. I repetitively get tired of getting on. I enjoy doing podcasts, but let me tell y'all something. The consistency of it is kind of draining from time to time. Now, when I was in the streets, I competitively got tired. I repetitively got tired of standing on the corner. I repetitively got tired of just sitting on the back of the cars in the hood. It was boring. It was just the same thing over and over and over again. And you got to do something different if you want to make a change. Real talk, man. You got to do something different. Now, I'm talking about the neighborhoods in the black communities, but I want to show y'all something too, though. And this is not defending Trump or defending the troops or whatever, though, but they're also in affluent neighborhoods also.
Where is it? What?
First one I saw, so my thought is not much going on here, so maybe they're practicing. Come on.
Georgetown to me is an affluent place. I remember going there on my birthday in 2023 just to get away from the city or whatever. And Georgetown, they was charging $50 to park. Was like, golly. Then we was looking at properties and, condos and stuff in Georgetown. They got $1 million condos up there. They had a lot of designer stores on that street that they was walking on, because I just remember being on that street. And it was thriving. It was cold too. We was up there in January and it was cold. I remember seeing people that own those condos have to pay for parking like a couple of $1,000s a year. They got to do leases for parking spots. So that's an affluent community, and they're up there patrolling also. Not Trump is just out. I feel like, and I said it on the episode last week, I feel like this is an experiment. I see black people in other cities saying that they want crime cleaned up in Chicago. It's a lot of videos. I should have pulled up one of those videos, but I didn't get a chance to where they said, man, come to Chicago and clean it up because this is horrible. It's a multitude of places. He could have went to Memphis and did the same thing. But I feel like this is a start. This is an experiment. And to my people that's in D.C. and from D.C., man, tap into the show in the comment section, man, and educate me on what's really going on, at the grassroots of the situation, because I want to be educated on it, because I love D.C., man. That's a place I would like to live at, but in the surrounding counties, not in the city. They got to clean that city up, man. Another reason, before I go to the next topic, that the city needs to be cleaned up bad, that's the headquarters for the leadership of the United States. I don't know how it is in other countries, like where the president resides at. The ground root of the country, like where all the politicians and the people that make decisions are located at. But that being a spot where you got heroin addicts 100 yards away from the White House, homeless people with tents, drug dealers and violence going on, and it's been going on for years, is interesting. Even though, they're saying the Democratic Party, the left side or whatever, is saying that crime is significantly down. Then you have the Republicans saying that they're fudging what was and what is crime. They're changing the terminology based upon what they consider something as. And it's just, I don't know what to believe and who to believe. That's why I'm independent, because I don't trust none of the people in politics. But when I think about the most historical place in the United States, I think about D.C. I think about the museums. I think about the White House. I think about, those big buildings downtown that's made out of stone. And this is just a sad situation, and I'm going to keep covering it, and I expect more cities to, have to deal with this later on down the line. Now, let's switch the topic up, man. We're going to get into a hip-hop conversation. Lil Yachty from Atlanta, part of QC. I wonder if he's still signed to QC. And he came out with the red hair and all of that old type of stuff. But he said something that was so interesting, that was on a stream about some sort of rap that he had wrote and curated. And he mentioned George Floyd in it. I may have to play this twice so I can really grasp the lyrics. But let's check this out, y'all.
Wait for it. Wait for it. ITSUS, I'm finna go break the bank for it. Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd. I be tweaking, she get wet, she gon' wait for me. Wait for it. Wait for it. All this got up on my neck, it's our sunshine. Her my name said on the app, fuck it one time. One time. One time. Fuck it one time. Fuck it one time. Told her bring that pussy back, that shit fun size. ITUS on the map, make her come down. Everything big, everything chrome. I don't wear red. I don't really wanna fuck with your mouth on. What's that sitting up on your wrist? It's a house on me. It's a house on me.
On this episode, I highlighted Scarface and lyrics and people speaking experiences and stuff in their raps. To hear Lil Yachty bars, I've been creating music for a long time. And to hear the direction the culture is going, like, I put my knee on her neck, I went George Floyd. It's kind of disgusting. I really listen to lyrics. I know a lot of people just listen to beats and things that make them move or whatever, though. But that was disgusting, man. And I ain't even a defender of George Floyd. I'll get into that here in a minute, though. But I want to talk about lyrics. Like, have something to say. Speak from experience. Go live life. Like, I put my knee on her neck. That's abuse. Dog, you rapping about abuse. It kind of reminds me of the Little Wayne boy when he was talking about Emmett Till. And it kind of reminds me of the Rick Ross ball when he was talking about taking something out from a woman. I don't want to be too specific on my channel, but the level of disrespect, like hip hop, people look at it as a culture of being competitive and saying the most outlandish things metaphorically to get some sort of attention from individuals, but that was nasty. I put my knee on her neck. I went George Floyd. It was nasty and it didn't make no sense. And the George Floyd bar, why you degrading somebody that look like you, that's of your race, even though I feel like George Floyd was on a substance that day. He didn't articulate himself well. And he didn't cause that and he didn't deserve that. But I've been talking about being able to articulate yourself when you are dealing with the police. I've had a lot of people disagree with me when I say that on my channel, but it's just true, man. You can't be high and drugged up and not being able to communicate with people in a logical way. But he didn't deserve that, and that ball was nasty. And I hate seeing the people celebrating like those type of raps, people celebrating people addicted to substances, looking at those folks like they heroes and stuff like that. Like Lil Yachty can't even form a sentence correctly to be able to be a hero to somebody, my opinion. And that was nasty. And you know, Steven Jackson, the person who defends George Floyd, he had a response to the whole foolishness.
And I'm just trying not to pay attention to you idiots, man, but like, it's just hard, bro. Like, Lil Yachty, bro. You been whack, my nigga. But you think you saying George Floyd name and trying to use his name in a bar that's gonna make people like your whack ass music, my nigga? That shit weak. Y'all the only era that feel like demeaning the dead and saying that shit is cool, my nigga. It ain't. It ain't. And it's me and the whole Third Ward and the whole Houston, Texas riding behind G, man. Don't ever say his name, bro. None of y'all knew G. Nothing about him. But y'all want to say his name for clout. Put a knee up on his neck. That's some weak ass shit, Yachty. But let somebody die in your family. We gonna do a whole skit about it and see how funny it is, bro. Cut that shit out, man. It's only you whack Sambo ass niggas that do shit like that.
You know, I don't like promoting beef and tension on my platform, but I felt as if this conversation was necessary because it's pertaining to hip hop lyrics, bars, social things, or whatever, though. But I want to address something that he said before I play another clip from him, because he said that he had a conversation with Yachty, and this was hours after he released that. So he said that y'all are the only era to disrespect the dead. I have to disagree with that. I feel as if, you know, my era did that. They started that. And it may come before that, you know, that the dead celebrities. But, you know, we had Brother Lynch Hung back in the days, man. And if y'all know who Brother Lynch Hung is, y'all know the type of time he was on. He was ridiculous. Then you got Gucci Man. I feel like he was the person that started not the smoking on people, but when he talked about Pookie Loke in his rap and he disrespected Jeezy on the Versus stage, that was something that influenced the ignorant, because the ignorant viewed that as if he was tough and he's a superhero tough guy disrespecting Jeezy in his face, when in our reality that promoted the culture in a bad way. Just being honest with y'all. But let me play this clip to further the discussion of what he said. Him and Yachty had a conversation.
Morning, world. Hope everybody getting off to a good start. Hey, to all the blogs and shows that's calling me about the Lil Yachty George Floyd situation, some of y'all don't respect because y'all never have content. All y'all do is look for mess. Some of y'all do. I won't be doing no interviews about it. I spoke to him. He's a smart young man. He's winning for a reason. He's a smart, super smart individual. He made a mistake. He apologized. We moved on from it. It's over with. That's what y'all want us. Jumping on these shows, talking about each other, feuding and, you know what I'm saying, dumb shit, clown shit, because y'all ain't got no content. We don't do that at all the smoke. We never clout chasing. We still winning. We leave that to the drunk shows. All right? So peep this. Won't be doing no interviews. He gonna keep winning. He gonna keep doing his thing. We gonna meet up. He made a mistake. Let it go. Stop calling my phone. New company though. Sneaker candy. New kicks coming out. We gonna have socks, hats, shoes, all kind of shit to go with your kicks so you can stay fly. Y'all be cool.
I'm glad whatever tension that they had between each other was resolved. I don't think nothing was gonna happen anyway. But you know, I want to be messy for a minute. This nigga a millionaire. What was he smoking on, man? This nigga had that little bitty head blood like it. We solved the tension. We ain't gonna go on y'all beef shows, y'all drunk shows. Smoking a roach. Come on, Steven Jackson. Ain't you up? Big dog or whatever. And then I ain't gonna keep going on, man. It was a lot. Real talk. That was just a lot. Salute to both of them brothers. The tension is over with. Yachty, step your bars up, man. Go have some life experiences so you can have something to say. Steven Jackson and George Floyd look just alike. I ain't even gonna cap to y'all. They look just alike. To me, the Dis and the Dead era started long time ago. They ain't the only era. What's y'all thoughts in the comment section about that conversation? I appreciate y'all tuning in. We about to further the discussion and get into this Sha'Carri Richardson situation. But I want to start it off with something that Ryan Clark had to say.
Saying that it's a double standard in domestic violence from women to men is true, and it should be. Just throughout history, men are freaking awful. You know, like it was the whole big thing back in the day. Would a woman take a bear or be on the street with a man that they don't know? That's not because they want to portray men as a certain thing. It's because men have been a certain thing. It's also because of the level of physicality between the two genders, right? Now, it doesn't make it okay for a woman to hit a man. It doesn't make that something that we should allow to happen, but there is a difference in the things. I can see the difference. I know why there's a difference. And when you think about Sha'Carri Richardson and Christian Coleman, largely black women protect black men. Black women protect our culture. Largely, that's something that black women want spoken about, that we praise them for. But there are these situations as well that do become aggressive, that do become violent. They are not without fault. But what Sha'Carri Richardson has to think of, and any black woman that puts a black man in that position, is what could be the next step for him.
Right.
In a world that doesn't value him, with authority figures who have had run-ins with unarmed black men that turn violent, you've now put him in a bad situation. And I think those are the thought processes that sometimes when you're young and you're immature, you don't process in the right way, whether it's the initial action or it's the second half of it where you're pleading with the police officers and saying his name in those ways and now involving him in the second tier of it. And so, like, the thing for me would be protect one another.
Right.
Both Christian Coleman, who did the right thing. You could tell he wasn't taught that you don't just retaliate or you don't retaliate. He was taught that you protect. He was taught that you keep your hands to yourself. He was taught that you love and that you support and you respect. And because of him, I believe this situation was able to be de-escalated. But for her, she has to be smarter, man. And though there's a double standard, that doesn't mean it's okay.
What did he say? Like, did he say a whole bunch of gibberish? We're going to play the video. I want to play the body cam video from the officers when she was at the airport. But I got to address Ryan Clark, and I'm not going to be disrespectful at all, though. But at one point, he said that largely black women protect black men. You know, we come from y'all. And thank you for that. You know, I feel like that statement was crazy because he said that Christian Coleman, you seen his actions, he was taught to protect. I haven't seen the video in totality. I've heard it and listened to people react to it on podcasts and stuff, and I'm about to play it. But I feel like we all know what right from wrong is, man. I feel like largely black men protect black women. Also, this misconception that one should be higher than the other is foolishness to me. I know it's a difference between physicality with men, but it's a difference between mentality with women. The main thing that caught my attention when he first came on, he talked about it's a double standard and it should be. No, I can't agree with that, dog. We all know right from wrong. You got to be able to control your actions. If you can't control your actions, you at fault. You know, the reason I say that too is because, like, as a man, I'm never going to put my woman in a situation for a reaction so I can see what she is, what she's capable of, how she will react. You know, I'm going to trust that she will act in a way if protecting me. And I don't ever expect my woman to put me in a situation yelling and hollering where I have to react and I might have to go to jail, or I might have to defend her and beat somebody up and go to jail, might get shot. Don't put me in those situations. That don't mean that you're looking out for my best interests. You know, to be honest with you, when I think about relationships, I think about interests and intentions. What are you interested in? You know, if we have similar interests, then we can coexist well. What are your intentions with me? Do you have intentions to see me thrive? Want to see me healthy? What is your intentions? What's my intentions with you? Interests and intentions is so valuable within a relationship. That's what you got to be aware of when you be with somebody, because you don't want nobody to put you in harm's way over a reaction. That's just craziness, man or woman. So this double standard thing that he's talking about, I totally disagree with it. But before I do play the video, you know, I want to play the person who she was previously in a relationship with, because now she was in a relationship with an athlete, a male athlete, but she was formerly in a relationship with a female athlete.
No, you're both going through it. You weren't able to compete at the national trials, and she was going through a ban for the substance abuse thing that happened. But what exactly or where exactly did the toxicness started? Because this sounded like a nice relationship.
No, lies. We've been toxic. We start out that way, right? Because we start out young as fuck, 19 and 21. We don't really know. You know what I say? We don't really find. We grew up. We already come from different cultural backgrounds. I'm saying, I'm a story, right? We have a different way of showing and giving love, right? What else? We are going through the same stuff as of being black and gay, you know. So I have all of them problems there, right? We are trying to find ourselves. Do you just only like girls, or you like both of them? It's toxic. So we are go back and forth, and up and down. No, and we're not going anywhere, right? I realized that us meeting and stuff was a lesson, and I learned my lesson and outgrow my lesson. Simple as that, because life is just full of lessons, sir. Life is full of lessons, and that's an actual factual. So it started toxic, and a lot of us go through toxic relationships. Right. All depending on what you really classify or consider to be toxic, but a lot of us go through toxic relationships, really and truly. Right. We do. We do. But when did the toxicness get physical? Because there were claims that she was being abused, but the last conversation that you and I had, you also said that it was on both ends. Yes, we were both abusive, mentally, verbally, physically, everything. And if I'm going to be on this and keeping it real as fuck, we've been abusive to most of this relationship. And other people, there's people who seen that, people who know that, you know, and we still honestly come and go, toxic, push and pull, and still get over the obstacles until I said, I have learned my lesson. I don't want to go over no more of these obstacles, right? With the same thing. So it's time for me to cut the ties and learn the lesson and move on, right? Me moving on now is where we've been abusive come about, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what is the reason for posting that now. Is that a strategy? Is that something for marketing? Is that for business? I don't know, because you still have my email, right? And you know, my mailbox is empty. As I said, there's no mail in there. So for the people out there telling me what to say about charge, mom, she put it on the internet, so the more answer on the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to charge me, they're going to charge me. If they're not going to charge me, they're going to charge me. And I doubt that, because we both have our receipts and stuff, right? I don't know what it is.
So
everybody
then
on Earth team know what it is. They know me as a person, as an individual. I give love. Like, it's not like that. If you come around me, you feel me, you see the energy I have.
Right. So then you decided after 2 years to call this relationship quits, just based on everything that was happening. Can you just give us a timeline as to when you guys broke up?
Broke up back in like February this month, this year.
So it's about 3 months thereabout.
Yeah, about 3.
And everything was good after you guys broke up?
After we break up, no, still looking for me when I don't want to be found.
Oh man, I want to address a couple of those things that was said. She said that they both were abusive. What is y'all take on like verbal abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, spiritual abuse? Which one do y'all think like lasts the longest, takes the most time to heal from? Which one is the worst? That's a question that I want to pose for y'all, because a lot of people, once it get physically, the law get involved. But when it's mental, when it's verbal, it's no law involved in that. And I feel like all aspects of it is bad or whatever. To see that these people are from different cultures, that's why I said intentions. And I was talking about intentions and what's your intentions for me? What is your interest in me? You know, because being from different cultures, I never really was interested in nobody. I'm married to a woman that I can relate to so well, because we come from different places, different states, but we both Southern people and we like similar music, we both family people. It's just that we coexist so well. But when I look at other relationships, a person that's black dating somebody from Ireland, or a black person dating a Jamaican, or a Hawaiian dating a Australian. It's just, I know love is love or whatever though, and we want people to be free. You know, people are homosexuals this week, then they straight next week. To me, it's a lot of confusion. And both of these people was young. She said in that video they was 19, one was 21. They from different cultures. That's hard. That's all I'm gonna say. That's hard. Let's get into the video though.
At an airport, during which she yanked her boyfriend's backpack, repeatedly pushed him into a wall column, and, according to bystanders, threw a pair of headphones at him. Witnesses said the dispute had been gradually escalating as the couple moved through the airport.
This way, she followed him, and all I heard was the
So they were already through the ship.
Yeah, they're inside. We don't have any kind of PSA related or like security issue in that regard. It's just she hit him.
You saw it, and what she hit him, was it like an open hand?
I think she hit him with her headphones. I heard the hit.
Where'd she hit him? Did you see that?
I think she hit him on the head. That's what it sounded like.
Okay.
Another observation, just hit him.
Okay. Did you hear anything that went like what they were saying between each other?
Well, he was saying, hey, there's cameras.
Okay.
So I think that's what he did. He moved into the space because there's a camera covering.
Okay. And did you actually saw him hit him with the camera?
I heard the impact. I didn't see it.
Did another officer?
Another officer mentioned, but obviously the CCTV, I was saying I haven't heard CCTV.
I don't know where the female is.
No idea. It looks like she grabbed the kid's bag.
I know she's in her feelings right now. I just want her to know the severity of like we're in the airport, chill out. She had my bag, I want to get my bag, and we're both going to the same place.
Okay, are you guys seated together?
So we're staying together?
Yeah, seated together.
I'm not sure because we were supposed to be going a long time ago.
Okay.
And so now we're just sitting in the airport.
Are you guys having a
Just a rough patch in your relationship? What's going on, man? Okay. So you tell me that got heated. Did you lay hands on her?
No, it's nothing like that.
She didn't lay hands on you? You sure? No pushing, no hitting,
nothing like that.
None of that. Just verbal heat exchange.
Just chill.
If that's all it is, it's none of our business. Okay. So if you guys make it on the plane, maybe you should go up there and ask for different seats. Just let some time kind of. Right? So
no, you did not. No. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I have to get my sweatshirt bag. Is there anything else that you could let me know? Because now that you have these officers involved, is there anything I need to?
Yeah, why don't you come talk to me over here?
Was there someone talking to you?
Come talk to me over here.
I will never talk to you again.
So
hi. So we're in a relationship. I will no longer mess with him or what he had going on. He has some stuff in his bag. I just need to get out of my bag.
Okay.
My iPad, some clothes. I can stick it out, put it in my suitcase, brought his bag back. That's pretty much it. But we have a relationship, kind of thing going on right now. But yeah, exactly. But I brought his bag back. I took all of my belongings out. I would leave him alone. You don't have to worry about me. I have a flight coming up for myself. Like I said, I'm on the phone right now. I have all of my belongings, but you don't have to worry about me while I'm in the airport with him at all. I just have to get my belongings out.
Do you have your ID on you? And boarding pass by chance?
Yeah. Do you need my ID for what? If you don't mind me asking.
A possible assault.
Assault? Christmas.
Not by him. Hey. Listen.
Chris, I assaulted you? Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm just making sure.
It's not him that reported it. One of the TSA folks reported it.
One of the TSA people, because I can definitely have evidence of him assaulting me if possible.
There's cameras everywhere.
Okay. But like I said, yes, I do. My name is Sha'Carri Richardson. I do have my ID. Yeah, but I would definitely leave him alone. There's nothing that I want to do with him anymore. Like I said, it was a relationship thing. I need to get my stuff out of his bag.
Are you guys on the same flight? Or?
We are later on in the day because our flight ended up getting delayed. We supposed to be leaving around this time of day, but the flight got canceled, so the flight doesn't leave until 10 p.m.-ish.
Okay.
So yeah, if you don't mind, can I step over here so I can share my ID?
That's fine.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, Sissy. So you hear me, right? So this is the position that Christian Coleman put me into, okay? Because he's a coward, and I don't want anything to do with him at this point going forward. My name is Sha'Carri Richardson. Have no problem with letting you know who I am. Haven't put my hands on him. We had an argument. I will be honest about that. An argument, and that's pretty much it. The argument, pretty much, he's a liar. He lied about a couple things that's personally, just in a relationship. I pretty much, officers can understand what a relationship is about, but he lied. He's a liar, and that was something that I kind of just grasped, and emotionally, I'm just like, bet you do your thing, but you're asking me for things that is within my possession, and for my right, I don't have to give it to you because it's in my possession. But when it comes to the point that I saw that he chose to make it more about the police and things of that nature, that shows that he made a choice. So I just want to be more professional and just come professionally and let you guys know, like, hey, relationship thing, have no problem, and welcome to you guys.
It's not illegal to argue.
Right.
Was there any type of physical assault?
No, I didn't touch him. He didn't touch me. I will be honest.
Hit him with anything?
No, I haven't hit him with anything. Not at all. He had headphones that were mine, and I just grabbed the headphones, but not physically. If you would like to ask me, you can ask him, but I don't want anything.
I just want to get your side.
Okay, absolutely. You can ask him whatever you need to ask him. But yeah, you're a coward.
Is it Sha'Carri?
Sha'Carri. Thank you so much, Sha'Carri.
Hey, Sha'Carri. What's your phone number for you?
And like I said, I don't have a problem cooperating because, like I said, it was some relationship stuff. So that's why I came up.
Do you give your boarding pass by chance? Just so I can just take a photo of that.
Damn. I'm going to start with him. I'm going to continue to play the video, though, but I'm going to start with him. His demeanor was calm, supportive. He said that he told her about the severity of what you're doing in the airport. She wilding. She lying. Basically lying, saying that I didn't hit him. What's interesting to me is that she said she couldn't grasp emotionally what he was trying to do to her at the moment. This is crazy, though, to lie when you on camera. In these airports, there's cameras all over the place. You can be seen soon as you enter until you leave in the airport. Committing a crime in the airport is like foolishness. But what I want to say before I play the video, continue to play the video, why is she talking so much? It sounds as if she's on something or she's on an illegal substance or something. Why is she talking so much? Like, when you're dealing with the police, it's in your best interest to talk less. Real talk.
Absolutely, yes. And you can contact me whenever you need to. I'm so sorry. If you don't mind me, I'm just
No, you're good.
Now my boarding pass, that is public. Right here. This is my boarding pass.
So this is the one that got delayed?
So this is, I want to say my original one, and this one.
That's your new one?
No, this is my original one, and this is the one that got delayed. And then the new one, I think, is in my personal one. But you can take a picture, and I'll look for you for the new one if you don't mind me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Right now, I don't think I have it, but they moved my flight to 10 p.m. if you don't mind. I don't think I just physically have it, but you can take a picture. I don't mind at all.
So Alaska, are you heading back to Florida?
Yes. No. I'm heading to Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, okay. I could probably find it this way.
Yeah, you can find it that way.
It's just to kind of document what's going on.
Please. Please document everything. I have no problem with you documenting anything. And I'm going to do my part so you can do your best, document everything. I would never say it. If I ever talk to him again, okay? Please talk to me. If I ever talk to him again, you punch me in my face. I would never, ever talk to him again. I would never do what you're doing. Hi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
I'm good.
Okay.
But I had to put down. I'm so sorry. You're grabbing me right now.
Yep. You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest right now. What am I under arrest? What am I under arrest for? Christian, are you serious right now? Okay.
You're under arrest for assault 14.
I didn't assault him though.
We have video cameras.
I literally was we were having an argument. I'm not resisting, so you don't have to do it harder. Christian, are you serious right now?
So they're in Washington State. He doesn't get a say.
But I understand. We were arguing. But I understand entirely. We were arguing.
I'm sorry for laughing, y'all. But she is speaking to Christian as if he is in control of the situation, when she blatantly said she couldn't grasp herself emotionally earlier to them. She couldn't control herself. Like, I don't know, looking at the footage, she was pushing them hard and stuff. I don't know if she should go to jail or do time for, you know what I'm saying, what she did to him, because it wasn't that bad, but it was something that you was doing in public, and you a superstar. You got eyes on you. You got to be able to hold yourself accountable for your actions and be able to control your emotions. A lot of people, that is something hard that people don't understand until they get themselves in a crazy situation, especially youthful, successful people. I played the clip before I got into this body cam footage of what her previous relationship said, that they was in a physical, verbal, and mental abusive relationship. Now, looking at this, it seems as if she still don't know how to control her actions, hold herself accountable. And, she is thinking that he has some sort of control over the situation. Once you cross that line, you ain't in control no more. Now, I want to see Sha'Carri win. I've been rooting for her whole career. But she be getting herself in situations that I don't think she understands she can't get out of if she don't be able to control your emotions. It took me a long time to learn how to, react with some sense and think before I react. But this is sad, dog. It's for the world to see nowadays, though.
Okay, I'm not gonna resist, but I'm telling you that we was arguing. I didn't assault him. I didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that your guys are doing this to me, and he's the man in this situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at all.
I appreciate that.
But you have me on camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, shows something different. So if I need to show that, I will.
We have your cameras all back here.
Okay, but I have my phone that shows something different. But Christian, thank you, Christian.
Don't talk to him right now.
Okay, I won't. Thank you so much, officer. They are arresting me right now, Christian. Sissy, they're arresting me right now. Am I gonna go actually to jail right now?
You are actually gonna go to jail.
Wait, but right now,
yes, it's a physical.
I didn't. Can he tell you that I didn't do that to him?
We have it on
Christian, are you serious right now?
Alright.
Christian, I'm about to go to jail because of you right now. You know what? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I will never fucking shoot again. Ever.
You gotta go this way.
Okay. Can we please hold these, protect show these or something? This is completely unacceptable. We are in a relationship. We had an argument. Are you serious right now? So I'm under arrest for assault right now. Okay. Let's just go. I'm not resisting or anything.
We know you're not.
I'm not resisting. So that's on record, correct?
Yes, it's on audio, video. Everything's being audio, video, camera, yep.
Absolutely. Can I at least get the handcuffs off? I'm not violent or anything.
It's policy when you guys go to jail.
It's policy. So are y'all gonna arrest him? I plan on pressing charges on him then. Okay. I plan on pressing charges on him. But this right here, I feel like it's completely unacceptable. We had an argument as in a relationship. And y'all didn't see me put hands on me, but y'all saw me put hands on him. So, okay.
Excuse me.
If I was in the airport and I would see little Sha'Carri Richardson handcuffed, talking up a storm and can't shut up, this show should be titled "Learn How to Articulate Yourself When Dealing with the Law." She sound like she on some powder perk 50 or something. I don't, I want to end the whole show off with her not accepting accountability, because that's, in totality, that's the main thing that I'm seeing from this whole thing, is that she is not accepting accountability. She said, "You doing this to me, you arresting me and not him. He is the man in the situation." That's what's normalized. That's what's come to being expected. The man has to face some sort of penalty when I'm upset. When he didn't even do nothing. The brother was quiet. He sounded like he didn't even want nothing bad to happen to her. He said, "She don't understand the severity of the situation. Stop acting out." And she kept saying, because of you, this happened. Because of you, that happened. Hey, man. Damn. I want to see you win, Sha'Carri. I want to see you win also, Christian. I appreciate y'all for tuning into this week's Foolishness in Music, Politics, Cultural Impact, and Sports. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money. And I'm gone. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.